But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
When we think about the kingdom, most brothers think of like the small, minute terms. No, but the vastness of the kingdom, the greatness of the kingdom, dealing with the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and the information alone that we're going to receive when we get to the kingdom. That's on a whole nother level.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to hopeful like out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh Bahashem Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful like the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, is going to some snippets of this documentary I was watching, the untold story of the Empire of Vespasian. Okay, and it says some things about Roman culture, that shows us that America, all right, is Rome reloaded. The way that America, runs their empire, mimics, the way Rome ran its empire. Okay, from military, to the social life, okay, to the culture, okay, so forth and so on. All right, was Vespasian, when you go into it, he was an emperor around the time of 70 AD. He was the last emperor. When you go into the year of the four emperors, he was the last, emperor, okay, to take that seat. And they give him credit to pretty much, bringing Rome back to a golden age, okay? And you had Titus, which finished off the what they call the Roman, all right, Jewish wars, all right, which that was Rome versus the Southern Kingdom, okay? And that's where you get the archer Titus, because Titus, he finished that campaign. It was him and his father Vespasian, but Vespasian left off the campaign, with Jake, warring with Jake, to go solidify, the seat of emperor. Okay, so this is a pretty interesting documentary. It's on the channel Odyssey, Ancient History, pretty good channel. I watched a few documentaries off there, pretty informative. But just going into Rome in general, and how it relates to America, I want to play a few snippets, okay, just to draw a parallel, okay. Matter of fact, before I do that, I'll come back to that. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1. Verse 9, it says, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Okay, so just as we speak about reincarnation, people coming back, okay, well, kingdoms are reincarnated, okay, because the people from those kingdoms come back in the earth doing the same thing, okay. And what we're seeing, Rome has resurrected itself back in the earth, through America, NATO, and the EU, this beast system, okay, with America, being the centerpiece, man, okay, the capital of this new Rome. All right, so let's play this.
A humble-looking building, of course, is really the engine room of Rome. One thinks of Rome as circuses and theatres and temples, but this is really the most important thing, because this is where the food is made. The Roman poor were given this amazing dough. They didn't have to find any food. The emperor provided that free. He also watered them or provided wine for them. They were also entertained. There's never been a society that pampered its poor to such an extent as the Romans did.
Hear that? So let's run that back.
that free. He also
In this huge flour mill at the mouth of the Tiber, corn, most of it imported, was ground night and day to feed Rome's constantly hungry masses.
This relatively humble-looking building, of course, is really the engine room of Rome. One thinks of Rome as circuses and theatres and temples, but this is really the most important thing because this is where the food is made. The Roman poor were given this amazing dough. They didn't have to find any food. The emperor provided that free. He also watered them or provided wine for them. They were also entertained. There's never been a society that pampered its poor to such an extent as the Romans did.
There's never been a society that pampered its poor like the Romans did. Okay? He was speaking of the free food. He was giving free wine. Okay? And entertainment, through games. Mainly those gladiatorial games and chariot races, sports, pretty much. Okay? And you look at American culture, there's all these, benefit systems. Okay, there's all these, entertainment and games. All right. And, there's so much variety, of strong drink, from wine, to different, strong drinks. Okay. 2-for-1, margaritas, and pretty much America, pampers, its society. Now, a lot of these things are low quality. Okay. That's given away. But the fact, that, you don't have to be super rich to have convenience. You see, in America, that was one of the perks of being a Roman citizen. You will get different perks of the empire. Just like today, of being an American citizen, you have the benefit of getting paid in the American reserve currency. It means that your currency is accepted worldwide. Okay, and it has a lot of global spending power. So just as Rome citizens had certain perks, all right, American citizenship has perks, man. And there was a precept when you go here in Ecclesiastes. And as you will get, those dainties of of Rome, you will become Romanized. Okay? Because one thing about it, when you're, ruling a big empire, your thing is to keep your subjects at ease. So you wouldn't have, constant rebellions and, attempts of an overthrow. Okay, because you go into Ecclesiastes 7:7, it says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Because if all you did was put oppression on the people, okay, eventually it will be an uprising. Okay, you will always have to deal with uprising. If you just put, pure oppression on people, no relief. Okay. But a way to keep the slaves content with being slaves, which we're going to get into later on, okay, in this little clip, all right, what do? You start to give them gifts. And it says, in a gift destroys the heart, the mind. Okay, and you look at why people that now, they have no thought of leaving American empire, to the point that you can put any candidate in front of them and they will still participate in the madness. You can show them how off the society is and how their government is against them. They still will try to fix, all right, the chaos themselves, man. Okay, because their mind is destroyed. Jake don't want to hear about a kingdom outside of this, outside of this new Roman Empire. Okay, because gifts have destroyed their heart, and we were destroyed. We was in that mindset. We didn't care about what the government was doing, and man, we were just engulfed in the day to day and the benefits that came with this society, man. Okay, buffeting on the flesh. And you read this in the NLT, Ecclesiastes 7:7 said, exhortation turns wise people into fools, and bribes corrupt the heart or the mind. Okay? So now, we live in a society where people really don't care how things function like that. As long as they can get their day-to-day benefits, they really don't care. Okay? As long as they can get their liquor, their drugs, they can, get their rocks off, they can eat. They really don't care. Even if they do speak on particular things on TikTok, they're really not gonna be active like that, man. They're not geared to do anything about it. You'll get a complaint, okay, but you got the people that are really never uprise because their mind is destroyed through the dainties, okay, of the empire, man. Okay, so I thought that was interesting. No one pampered his slaves, pampered his poor like Rome. And you have to say the same thing about America, man. Homeless people got iPhones. There's so much, food and technology just available and floating around that even, homeless people have iPhones and drinking Starbucks. Okay. So I'm gonna fast forward. I want to go here. Now this was after the Romans took down the Britons, and they began to set up puppet governments. Okay, which this is something that America does. When they take down a particular leader, and they will put up puppet leaders that will be pro-American, okay, or pro, EU, pro-West. Okay. Well, look at how they pamper. Okay. Well, they'll pamper you, all right, for the benefit of the empire. Okay.
20 times he will have put up a trophy celebrating his and the Second Augusta Legion's victory. But it's all part of this process of we are on the winning side. And one needs symbolism, so one has to visually try and create something that people will remember.
The bones of the vanquished, excavated from one of the biggest of the hill forts. Their wounds still visible. The survivors would certainly have remembered the day Vespasian came. In pacifying the southwest and subduing the warlords, Vespasian had done well. But the job wasn't finished. Rome needed to put in place a leader, one the people could respect. But more importantly, one who would respect Rome. Cogidubnus was just such a man.
One of the ways the Romans conquered, besides obviously direct military action, was the use of puppet kings or client kings. That was introducing what we might call actually a quizzling figure into the society. Now, we know that the Romans arrived, and probably in their baggage almost, they had this chap called Cogidubnus. The Romans then installed him as a sort of puppet king in the Chichester area, and then built him an enormous palace.
The palace the Romans built for Cogidubnus at Fishbourne.
You look at this palace. Okay, crazy. And this is what America would do to certain leaders of today. They would take down certain leaders, and they would prop up pro-American leaders, and they would pamper them. With money, okay, with wealth, with American protection. Why do you think the Saudis are living like they're living? That's pretty much off the tab of America, man. Okay, you look at them Saudis, and they're just living off the tab and security of America. You see, you look at what Donald Trump said. He told them Saudi princes, if we withdraw from y'all, you wouldn't last 2 weeks. Okay, so Rome, what they would do, they would conquer, okay, and they would place a leader or a puppet leader or a client king, okay, that was pro-Rome, and they would pretty much pamper their king, all right, to fulfill, okay, certain obligations to Rome, to make sure those taxes get paid to Rome, to pretty much spread Roman culture, to that new territory that they would conquer, those new people that they had conquered. Okay, the same thing that America does today on a much larger scale. Okay, want to play a little more.
Was breathtaking. The largest villa outside of Rome. Here he received the other chiefs as they came to visit from their mud huts. The message was clear. So was his authority.
The advent of Rome brought good news and bad news. First, the bad. Resistance would be crushed, arms confiscated, Roman law enforced, and finally, biggest bogeyman of all, the Roman tax collector. Then, the good news. Peace, roads, towns, clean water, sanitation, commerce encouraged and housing improved, baths, theaters, entertainments. Tacitus puts it beautifully. Rude nations would be coaxed toward peaceful paths through comfort. Temples, markets, and houses built, the sons of chieftains educated in the liberal arts. Those who had spurned Roman speech would aspire to rhetoric and adopt the toga. And he concludes, mockingly, so by slow degrees the Britons were seduced by pleasant pastimes, till finally the gullible natives came to call their slavery culture.
Until the gullible locals began to call their slavery culture. They began to call their slavery culture. It was a slow cook. Okay? So Rome would come conquer you and with force. Okay, but next thing you know, you will have all these infrastructure going up. Okay, you will have, pretty much aqueducts where water will come in conveniently. Okay, pretty much they will modernize, these villages and turn them into cities. Same thing that America can do now. Like, it's nothing for America to throw up a city, a town. You go to a lot of people, that don't live in their hometown, and they go back, and it's a whole city now. When you was there, you might remember 2-3 rows. You go back, it's a whole city. Shopping strips, theaters. Okay, new high school. You went, like, there's nothing for, and that's what these America does to these third world countries. They'll go conquer, for the sake of those resources, but in exchange they'll throw up, modern infrastructures in these poor places. Okay, and people fall in love, with the convenience, and then pretty much slavery becomes a culture to where you go work for the interests of the empire all day, but then after you get off, you get to enjoy the modern conveniences that the empire has given you. It's the trade-off. You pretty much trade sovereignty for convenience. And Rome had mastered it. Okay, and America does the same thing. Okay, so let's play it again. Run it back a little bit.
Breathtaking. The largest villa outside of Rome. Here he received the other chiefs as they came to visit from their mud huts. The message was clear. So was his authority.
The advent of Rome brought good news and bad news. First, the bad. Resistance would be crushed, arms confiscated, Roman law enforced, and finally, biggest bogeyman of all, the Roman tax collector. Then, the good news. Roads, towns, clean water, sanitation, commerce encouraged and housing improved, baths, theatres, entertainments. Tacitus puts it beautifully. Rude nations would be coaxed toward peaceful paths through comfort. Temples, markets, and houses built. The sons of chieftains educated in the liberal arts. Those who had spurned Roman speech would aspire to rhetoric and adopt the toga. And he concludes, mockingly, so by slow degrees the Britons were seduced by pleasant pastimes, till finally the gullible natives came to call their slavery culture.
Call it slavery culture. You see, and that's what you see today. You know, society to where, you know, they fight for a culture where they're slaves. You know, especially Jake. You see, if they made, you know, they become a slave, you know, to this system. You know, because if you're chasing a bag, well, in order to chase a bag, all right, the more you chase, the more you have to give to the empire. You know, the more desires you want, the more status, the more clout. Okay, the more you have to submit to the empire to get. Okay, and this is why you go here to the book of Proverbs. All right, 23. Yep, it says, and when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Yep, because when you sit down and eat, you know, especially in ancient times, you know, business will be discussed, you know, over dinner, over meals. Okay, so when you come, you know, when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, what's being presented. What is he presenting? Okay, what is this man presenting? What's his angle? What is he up to? Okay, and these devils, even going back to the garden, you know, he presented something, you know, to Eve. You see, and then there's Romans, he was presenting, you know, particular things to the earth, to the what they call barbarians. Okay, and as America, he's doing the same thing. The Edomites are running the same game. You know, they come and sit down, okay, and make these proposals, okay, as if they have your best interest in mind. Okay, it says, and put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to appetite. And if you know, are weak in the flesh, if you're ruled by the flesh, he got you. Because one thing about it, this devil knows how to pamper the flesh, man. You know, if you're given over to appetite, as we're taught, okay, this is Sirach 18:30. It says, go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetites. But refrain thyself from thine appetites, man. Okay, you're supposed to be disciplined, and you will have certain leaders that will have integrity. And what they would do, they would demonize them and eventually get them out of there, man. You know, in certain cases, man. You see, well, there's supposed to be a level of integrity, man. Like you had Eleazar, you know, who wouldn't eat the swine's flesh. They couldn't bribe him, you know, and he died in his integrity, man. Okay. The 3 Hebrew boys we always get into, they kept their integrity, man. They didn't want to bow down to the empire of Babylon. You see? So when this man presents something, no one, you know, and if you're, you know, governed by the flesh, you can't control your appetite, your fleshly appetite. He got you, man, because he know how to pamper the flesh. Okay? It says, be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. You know, as he comes with his convenience, and I'm gonna invest in this, and I got this program going, I got this for you. We want to make sure the women are good, you know, women's liberations and equal rights for women, and you know, I give you these dainties, you know, you get these jobs, you get these benefits, you get these careers, you know, you get this assistance, you get this, you get that. You can come to our colleges, you can get these grants. Okay, you're included now, because it's all what they call an illusion of inclusion. Okay, it's deceitful. When you go here, you make it seem as if you're included. Okay, but ultimately he's the only one that really benefits. Okay, when you go to inclusion, it says the action or state of including or being included within a group or structure. The practice or policy providing equal access to opportunities and resources for people who might otherwise be excluded or marginalized, such as those who have physical or intellectual disabilities and members of other minority groups. And it's an illusion of inclusion, as if he really considers your situation to include you, all right, for your betterment, man. Okay. But ever since our people have taken on the ways of this devil, it's been downhill from them. Okay, and this man has constantly been going up. Okay, so you go back, all right. It says, "Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat." Okay, this is verse 6. It says, "Eat thou not the bread of him that have an evil eye." And this man has an evil eye towards Jake. Okay, this is his main evil eyes towards Jake, man. And our people trust him more than anything. Okay? Neither desire thou his dainty meats or his delicacies, man. Okay, and this devil, you know, the more you want to be like him and live like him, because you look at Jake, they want you to live like Esau. Okay, that's why Jake, these niggas they rap about being rich like Edomites. Okay, you look at the average Eve, she wants the lifestyle of a upper middle class Edomite woman. Okay, and to get those things, what do they have to do? Conform more and more, hey, to wicked ways, man. Okay. So the devil, you know, he knows how to play that game to where he makes, he knows how to pamper you for you to lose your morals, man. You know, for you to become like him. And the more you desire, you know, hey, this beast system, the more he turns you out into a beast like him, man. Okay? He knows how to make slavery become a culture for people. Okay? And no one has been pampered, okay, like the poor Rome, as it says. Okay, so I thought that was interesting, man. I just wanted to bring that out. All right, and Lord will, you know, this was edifying, man, because we got a kingdom of righteousness to look forward to, which we're going to be pampered, okay, in righteousness, man. I think that's in Isaiah 66, and we can end on this. All right. Might be 65. Let me see. Yep, this is Isaiah 65 and 23. It said, "They shall not labor in vain as we do now." You know, most of our work and labor is capitalized by the empire. Okay, we get the crumbs of our own labor. Okay, nor bring forth for trouble. All right, as we bring forth seed, not knowing what's going to happen to them, what's going to befall them. Okay, For they are a seed of the blessed of the Lord Yahweh by Shemal Shai, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear, man. So the Lord is going to be hearing our thoughts and desires, man, and blessing us, as He hears them, man. We got a lot to look forward to beyond this BS of a kingdom where you have to lose your morals and who you are, okay, for the crumbs of this man's empire, man. So just want to put that out there, Lord will you brothers and you sisters edified. Shalom.